Hi guys, welcome to another collection video. This time I thought I would show you my Game Boy Advance collection. Game Boy Advance, definitely one of my favourite systems of all time, for sure. It's basically a portable Super Nintendo. Can't really ask for more. A lot of great titles on the Game Boy Advance. I've discovered a lot of gems. It's a shame because I actually had a Game Boy Advance back in the day, and I didn't really take advantage of it. I bought like a couple of games and then I never used it again. But this was because I had the original Game Boy Advance unit, which I didn't really care for because I couldn't really use it. It was really dark, so I never went out and got the SP. I just sort of lost interest in the system. So it was only until years later that I got back into it. And I bought my SP and just discovered a whole load of gems for the system. So first I'm going to show you my cart-onlys, and then I'm going to move on to my boxed copies as well. So the first game is Mario vs Donkey Kong. This is actually a really nice puzzle game. A lot of fun. Yeah, definitely worth getting, guys, if you like puzzle games. Yeah, just a fun game. Next one I've got here is R-Type 3. This is essentially a port of the Super Nintendo version. It's fantastic. If you like your shooters, definitely worth getting. Next game I have here is Gekido Advance. This is a brilliant game. It's a sequel to a game that came out on the PlayStation. The PlayStation version is pretty much a straight up scrolling beat 'em up, a 3D one, and it's not all that, but this one is really good. This is actually a 2D style beat 'em up, scrolling beat 'em up / RPG. It is a lot of fun. It's a great game. It's got great graphics. Definitely worth getting, guys, if you like scrolling beat 'em ups. And it's a little bit different as well. It's not a straight up scrolling beat 'em up. You just have to check it out for yourself. Definitely look up footage on this game, guys. That's Gekido Advance. Okay, next game I've got here is X-Men Reign of the Apocalypse. This is another scrolling beat 'em up with X-Men characters. It's okay, it's nothing special. Next game is Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time. This is an excellent version of the Sands of Time game. This is a 2D platform game. It's a lot of fun. It's got great graphics. Highly recommended if you like 2D platformers. Next game I've got here is Metroid Fusion. This is fantastic. It's basically just another Super Metroid, just another version of that game. It's excellent, a lot of fun, definitely for sure. Next one I've got here is let it focus a little bit. Can I get the focus? Here we go. This is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles double pack. This has got the 2 games in one. I forgot what they're both called individually, but yeah, it's great. They're scrolling fighters. This is definitely worth hunting down, guys, if you into scrolling beat 'em ups. Next one I have here is Inspector Gadget. This is okay. This is a fun sort of 2D platform game. To be honest with you, I kind of bought this on impulse. It just sort of looked good in the gameplay footage I saw, but when I actually got the game, it wasn't all that. It's fun though. It's all right. Next game I've got here is Gundam Seed Battle Assault. This is an excellent one-on-one fighter. 2D style, great graphics, great gameplay. If you like the Gundam Wing style games, 2D fighters, definitely worth seeking out. Next game I've got here is Pitfall, the Mayan Adventure. This is basically a sort of, it's just a port of the 16-bit games, but it doesn't play as well. I mean, I've got this game on the Mega Drive. This one seems a bit off to me. I don't know what it is about the game, but it just doesn't play as well. But you know, it's alright. It's a great platform game if you like that style of games. Next one I've got here is Bruce Lee: Return of the Legends. This is actually quite a fun game. Surprisingly, for this sort of game, it's very stealthy. But it's nice. It's a decent game. Nothing really wrong with it. It's fun. It's sort of like a puzzly platform action game. Next one I've got here is Metroid Zero Mission. From what I've been told, I think this is like an updated port of the original Metroid game. But in any case, it's fantastic. The Metroid games on the GBA are well worth hunting down. Brilliant games. Next one I've got here is Dragon Ball Advanced Adventure. This is highly recommended, guys. This is a great 2D platform game. It's like a platform stroke beat 'em up. Definitely worth getting, guys. This is fantastic. This is easily one of the best games on the Game Boy Advance. No doubt about it, guys. Definitely look this one up. Next one I've got here is Sonic Advance 2. These Sonic games are brilliant. Again, if you like Sonic, I mean, these 2D Sonic games, you know what to expect. But it's a brilliant original title for the GBA. This is Justice League. This is based on the cartoon series, and it's a 2D sort of action beat 'em up game. You get to play as each member of the Justice League. So you get to play as Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern. A lot of fun. It's decent. Yeah, I mean, again, if you like 2D side-scrolling beat 'em ups, definitely worth hunting down as well, guys. Next one I've got Final Fight 1. This is an excellent port of Final Fight. You know, if you've never played it on any other system and you sort of want something for the GBA, this is definitely worth hunting down, guys. It's not expensive. It's just a port of the original Final Fight, and it's excellent. It's actually really, really good. So yeah, highly recommended. Next one I've got here is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. Yeah, it's a fun skateboarding game. We all know the Tony Hawk series. Yeah, it's fun on the GBA. It's not amazing, but it's fun nonetheless. Next game I've got here is this is, if I let it focus a little bit, let it focus. There we go. That's Sonic Advance 2. You know, just more of the same, really. Brilliant game. If you like Sonic, it's definitely worth hunting down. Next up, I've got Road Rash Jailbreak. Decent Road Rash game. Yeah, a lot of fun. It's cheap, well worth hunting down. Next up, I've got Street Fighter Alpha 3. Yeah, this is a decent port of Street Fighter Alpha 3. You know, if you like one-on-one fighters, definitely worth a pick up. And finally, oops, wait. I'll just show you this little lot here. These are basically all my Mario games, but they're all fake. Yeah, so we've got Yoshi's Island. This is Super Mario World. This is Super Mario 2, Super Mario 3, and Mario Kart Super Circuit. Basically, I got these all in one bundle. They was very cheap. Too good to be true, quite frankly, and yeah, they all turned out to be fake. But they all work perfectly enough. I've had no issues with any of them. But yeah, there you go. These are my fake cards. Right. Now, let's move on to my box games. I've got a few here, so I'll try to be brief. First one up, I've got King of Fighters Neo Blood, fantastic game. Definitely worth getting, guys, if you like 2D fighters. It's King of Fighters. If you don't know about King of Fighters, then you know, what can I say? it's a great beat 'em up series, and this is a fantastic version on the GBA. Next one I've got here is Zelda the Minish Cap. This is a brilliant Zelda game. It's actually made by Capcom. Probably my favourite Zelda game. A lot of fun. Yeah, highly worth getting, guys. Next one I've got here is Tales of Fantasia. This is part of the Tales of series. Yeah, it's a nice sort of action RPG. Yeah, a lot of fun, guys. If you like RPGs, it's definitely worth getting. Next one I've got here is Mega Man and Bass. This is an excellent game. It's just a great 2D side-scrolling Mega Man game. You know, it follows the usual Mega Man style. You know, it's hard as hell. 2D side-scrolling. You know, it's a solid game. Next one I've got here is Astro Boy Omega Factor. This is definitely in my top 5 favourite GBA games. This is an absolute classic. It was made by Treasure. It's a 2D side-scrolling beat 'em up stroke shooter. If you have a GBA, this is a must-own. Put this on your list. Next one I've got is Advanced Guardian Heroes. This is the sequel to Guardian Heroes that was on the Saturn. A lot of people say they don't like this game. It's alright, it's fine. It's a scrolling beat 'em up. If you've played Guardian Heroes, you kind of know what to expect with the sequel. I don't have a problem with this game. It's fun. Probably not as good as the original, but then I've never played the original, so I can't really compare. But yeah, it's a fun game nonetheless if you like scrolling beat 'em ups. Next game I've got here is Godzilla Damnation. This is basically a sort of King of Monsters style monster beat 'em up game. It's a lot of fun. Very arcadey. If you like Godzilla, you like these sort of monster fighting games, then this is definitely for you. Next one I've got here is X vs. Sever. This is actually a first-person shooter, and it's pretty decent. I'm not going to lie, it's actually a really good game. Surprisingly, the GBA can do first-person shooters quite well, and this is definitely a really good example of one. You know, it's not going to compete with the PS3, Xbox 360 shooters anytime soon, but for the GBA, it's fun. Yeah, it's a fun game. Next game I've got here is Golden Sun. I've never played it. It's an RPG. I've heard a lot of good things about it. I bought it in a bundle, and I've not got round to playing it yet. Next game I've got is Sonic Advance. This is a fantastic game, well worth getting, guys. Like I said before with Sonic Advance 2 and 3, you know, it's another original 2D Sonic game. If you like your Sonic games, definitely worth hunting down. Next up I've got Wario Land 4. Brilliant game. If you like Wario, like the Mario games, this is a must-have. It's fantastic. And this is another game that I also got as part of that same bundle with Golden Sun. Another game I also got in the bundle was Pokemon Ruby version. It's fully complete. I've never played it. I don't plan on playing it because I have no interest in Pokemon. Next game is Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. Again, this was in the bundle that I got. You know, it's a sort of strategy RPG. I haven't had a chance to play it yet, but I am familiar with this. We'll get around to it at some point. But, you know, it's Final Fantasy Tactics. If you like strategy RPGs, you know the score. Another game I also got in that same bundle was The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. Haven't had a chance to play this yet. Seems to be like a top-down action game. So I look forward to giving this one a try at some point. Next game I've got here is Robotech the Macross Saga. This is a really decent horizontal shooter. Yeah, a lot of fun. I like the fact that you can change the ship to robot form whenever you like. It's a great shooter. If you like shooters, guys, definitely worth looking out for. Next one I've got here, this is the Castlevania double pack. This has got Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance and Aria of Sorrow. Again, you know, if you like Castlevania, guys, you know, this is a must-have for sure. Next up, I've got Metal Slug Advance. This is a brilliant version of the game. A lot of fun. It's not going to compete with the other Metal Slugs on other systems, but for the GBA, this is a fantastic version of the game. And if that's what you've got to play it on, then this is definitely a must-have. Next, I've got Contra Advance, The Alien Wars. This is basically a port of Contra 3 from the Super Nintendo. A lot of fun, highly worth getting, guys. It's not as good as the Super Nintendo version, but it's definitely worth getting, guys, if you like Contra. Next up, I've got Dragon Ball Z Supersonic Warriors. This is basically a 2D fighter. It's a lot of fun. If you like 2D fighters, guys, or if you're into Dragon Ball Z, it's highly recommended. Oh, and there's also a sequel to this on the DS. Next game I've got here is Gunstar Future Heroes. This is basically a sequel to Gunstar Heroes from the Mega Drive. It's a lot of fun. It's not as good as the original, but it's definitely a fun side-scrolling shooter. So if you like Gunstar Heroes, guys, this is a must. Next one I've got here is a very battered Frogger's Adventures. I've never played it. This also came part of the bundle that I bought. And lastly, I've got Justice League Heroes The Flash. This is basically a sort of scroller where you play as the Flash. It's a scrolling beat 'em up. It plays a little bit different. It's not all that. It's alright, but it's fun nonetheless. And that's it. Okay, guys, that is my Game Boy Advance collection. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I'd love to hear your thoughts as well in the comments below. And stay tuned to my next video. Bye bye.